involved in the company, and I know exactly who you're talking about, and I'm not going to mention them on the air, that's had these green strips that say you'll save on your energy, does absolutely nothing. Zero.
Yeah, it was the same thing. It was painted green. They called it the green plug.
You're right, and that's the greenwashing Ron's talking about.
That was kind of an aside. Those things are simple once you figure those out. But
how do you know to figure it out?
Well, that's a little bit more difficult. But it's, once you figure out what's going on, it's straightforward.
Right.
There's nothing environmentally friendly or health friendly about that. But Ron, help me out with this. If you have say something like a hybrid car or an electric car, we initially think that that's good. I mean, your first thought is good because there's nothing going out of the tailpipe. You're not burning oil. But my question to you is, where does the electricity come from, and is that necessarily better than burning gasoline?
You mean to charge it, the electricity? Because if you charge it,
I know it comes from your wall, but where do we get electricity in the United States?
The coal plants, right?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it really depends. It's kind of an open-ended, generic question, and you're right. You do have to, do your homework before purchasing whatever vehicle you're going to do, whether it be they claim to be green or a hybrid. To make it even more confusing with you guys, I mean, and I don't want to badmouth hybrids. I believe they're going a step in the right direction, but there's something called electromagnetic pollution, really just the EMFs that are given off some of these hybrids, and I don't have one in particular this instant, but have given off electrical fields even. That might
we've talked about that on the show when we did a show about this real cell phone dangers and EMFs and people really just bombarding themselves with it. There's a place around here called Katy Trail where people like to run and jog and you go on there with their bikes, and I do it also, but they live on it. It actually costs more money to live on Katy Trail. But it's right, I mean, you have 10 feet and right in your backyard is this enormous power line.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing.
The doctors from North, all the studies that have been done, even on how that is bad for your health as well, living close to a power line.
Now, Ron, back to my question, though. If you're going to plug a car in, a pure electric car, and you plug it into your wall, that might seem clean, but my question to you was, where do we get electricity in the United States? Where?
Well, from the grid, So, I mean, is that what you're referring to?
Well, yeah, we get it from the grid, but where is the electricity generated from? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Where exactly? What are they using? What materials are they using to produce this electricity? And really, how green is it?
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Those are all complicated questions.
But it's got to be a coal plant, doesn't it, Ron? Aren't there coal plants that produce the energy?
Yeah, I'm not. To be honest with you, I'm not so strong on giving you an answer against that. I'm kind of in agreement with you guys. I think we have to make sure we're not misleading the public into thinking they're making a complete green decision. And so that's why we created the book, Just Green It. But the focus on our book ultimately is for the home and actually products and personal care products and things you can bring into your home. So, but
just to follow up quickly, Ron. What I found in my research was that 70% of the electricity created in the United States is made from burning fossil fuels.
Yeah.
And that kind of shocked me. So we're burning fossil fuels to make electricity to power our electric cars.
See, what Ron's trying to do is just promote his book, and I understand that, called Just Green It.
Not at all. No, we go across the country all the time talking about things, and I wasn't particularly stuck, and quite frankly, I was in agreement with you on some of the things you're talking about, and so it's kind of hard to talk against you guys when I do agree with you on the fact that the energy source that we're getting electricity from necessarily isn't the best source. So
let me ask you this. How many microorganisms can be found in 1 square foot of carpeting in your home?
Well, if you answer D on that one, tens of millions.
Wow.
And it's crazy. Carpeting in general just harbors everything, whether it be biological contaminants, whether it be chemicals. It just seems to hold on to it. I gave you the DDT example from before. And, quite frankly, we recommend for new homeowners or homeowners that eventually can save some money to get rid of their wall-to-wall carpeting and maybe replace it with hardwood flooring or or slate or something like that with area rugs instead, because it just traps things.
So, do you think that that's better with the varnishes that they put on the wood flooring, or do you recommend a different type or non-varnish? What do you think is truly the best way to floor your home?
To floor your home? Well, really, obviously, you probably know where I'm going with really more natural type finishes, versus synthetic, and also using sealants too. They're not toxic. There's there's a lot of choices out there that necessarily aren't more expensive than the alternative.
I'm glad those are available, because I know when I walk into a brand new home that's got the new scraped wood flooring, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
But I can feel my lungs burning and my nostrils burning. I know it's just.
Isn't it amazing the healthier we are, the more conscious we are of feeling some type of symptom in a particular environment, whether that be the building, a home, or the outside. Yet when you're completely toxic, if you're a person who eats like crap all of the time and you're living in a toxic environment, somebody wrote me an email saying, George, what about kids' bedrooms or a person's bedroom who's above a garage? You have all the stuff that's in a garage, gas cans and lawnmowers in your car when you turn it on, and everything you can think of that's chemical that's in the garage that gets into the ceiling and seeps into the person's bedroom. You may not realize when you're that toxic that you're toxic, and you may not be conscious of it. So here's some questions I have for both of you guys, or some thoughts anyway. The government and heavily funded companies say microwaves are safe. Plastic and BPAs from bottled water doesn't affect our health in a negative way. And high fructose corn syrup is safe, say the commercials that we've seen on TV lately.
Because it comes from a vegetable, right?
Exactly, because it comes from a vegetable. What bothers me is, or let me not say what bothers me. Ron, why should someone listen to you? Because what we see, we're bombarded on. The government's not going to make a claim saying that microwaves are bad for us because they've already approved them. Ozarka Water comes out with this bottled water that's super, super soft plastic, even softer than before. They say, hey, we're more green now because we're using less plastic. But what about the BPAs that are going into your body?
Sure, no, I agree with you, and that's why as a consumer we have to be proactive. And let me give your audience some quick tips. We talked about this before during the break, George, just on how they can better the indoor air quality of their home. I want them to leave empowered, and there's some real simple steps you can do to really make sure it's that way. We talked about, tightly sealed homes, not getting an air exchange. Real simple. You guys are in Texas most of the year. It's really hot. Open up the windows. We need to kind of let our homes breathe. I think that people should change their furnace filters. Literally 41% of homeowners don't change their furnace filter on a seasonal basis. And if you guys are suffering from allergies or asthma, this is a must.
So 4 times a year for that?
Literally 4 times a year. And, the technology now that has gone into these furnace filters is amazing. 3M is a prime example. They have some various filters. Obviously, higher the better, but even getting a 1,500 or more on their rating system is really efficient and does wonders. Literally is a screen to your home, so you might as well take advantage of it. And then, we talked about just toxins. Let's not bring them into our home. Like, you can't literally put fresh air in a can, okay? So a lot of the synthetic air fresheners, obviously, they're neurotoxins. They're not healthy for us. Let's not bring them in. Fourth, I'm not sure if you guys have talked about this in the past, but literally the vacuum cleaner that you use in your home, if it's older, chances are it's not a HEPA. Chances are it's not as good. And literally 70% of the dust you're vacuuming up is being kicked into the air, so it's definitely not helping allergies. And then I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but for those of you who want to get various plants in your home, you might as well choose ones that are going to effectively take out chemicals from the air. NASA did an incredible study on literally 50 indoor houseplants and their effectiveness at actually taking out various chemicals from the air. Chemicals like you mentioned, like benzene or formaldehyde, which is in a lot of particle board furniture. Literally plants like the bamboo palm, the English ivy, rubber plant, spider plant are just a few examples of the things that people can use to create better indoor air quality from just a chemical perspective. And each plant's good for about 100 square feet in your home.
Okay, I just wrote this down. Bamboo palm, English ivy, and what else?
There's literally 50.
Oh, okay.
But the rubber plant, spider plant, peace lily, and it's simple. You might as well choose a plant that's going to do some extra work for your home that also looks nice.
I like that. All right, so coming up next, what I want you to do, Ron, is give us bullet-pointed information, if you possibly can, about what people should do today as soon as they stop listening to the radio show. They go out and they say, I'm going to buy something to help my environment within my home, for myself, my family. What can they do today? I want you to give us a bullet-pointed list. What's in their home, what needs to be changed. Don't have to elaborate on it. Just go through it and let's knock it out. But the first thing I want to do when we come back is have you answer this question. a